Hey folks, I'm up here in the canyon again. I tried to camp just right down there when a cougar came after me. It licked my blood off a canteen. But came up here again. It's a couple months later, but figured she'd be long gone. No. I don't know if you can see. Well, you're gonna see this right here. It's deer fur. There's a whole bunch more over here. All over here. And I don't know if you can see this, but you're looking at a cougar kill right there. Here's a whole patch of its fur. I wanted to do an overnighter up here, but I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find a track. I don't want to go anywhere near that. So yeah, I'm all ready for an overnighter here, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. This is pretty sketchy. Now I know this wasn't done by a pack of wild dogs, because they would have tore this whole area up. We got some footprints here, but they're too far gone to make out. So if we look here though, just looking at this generally, you can see these three branches, boom, boom, and boom. Sorry about the shaking. They're all knocked over. This could have been done by people, given the proximity to the trail. There's also this that's busted up. But if you look at this, it's clearly been rubbed on by something. Can you see that? Is it gonna focus? Yeah, it's been rubbed on by something all along there. And same with this one down there. You see the fur stuck to it. And this one as well. So these three branches all knocked down by something. So I suspect it made the kill over here and then dragged it up here. So that's its stomach. It's full of organic matter. A little bit of venison on the ground for you. But this whole area here has been fed in, or has been fed in. Those aren't cougar tracks. It looks like a bear track. Yeah. A small bear maybe. There's some more right there. They go that way. Let's have a look. See you got the front four claws, they're extended and they pierce inward, and then the back claw hits right back here. See the back claw's there, the front claw's there, and there's another pad there, and one right there, and then again there. That's a bear, I'm fairly sure. I'll have to look it up. I'm not used to seeing bears. It's small though. It's smaller than I anticipated, but the spread, I mean, it looks bigger than my hand. And there's four distinct imprints, so I don't think it's a dog. A dog's print's more like, no. You want to know what a dog, everyone knows what a dog print looks like, but let's have a look around. But the dead deer is just right up in that thicket there. That's interesting. It's hibernation season. That's not a bear then. We're in February. There's no bear running around out here. Badger maybe? Badger wouldn't kill a full-grown deer. They would certainly eat one if they found it, but I don't know. That's confusing. Get my crap. I'm gonna do some tracking here and see what I can find. Here are my tracks coming in this mess. If there's a lot of them around here, I mean, I guess it could be a big dog, but that looks not like a dog to me. I'm just gonna set up camp right here. I'm not spending the night. Probably just cook some steak and get out of here, but pretty sketchy. All right. We back. All right, we're on the trackins again. I'm gonna come down by the water in the direction those tracks were headed. See what I can see down here. Whoa, slipping and sliding everywhere. Gotta not step in the water here. All right, what do we got here? A caved in something. Probably a dog, but that long finger there tells me something else. They're too far gone, that's what it tells me. But that looks like a big dog print to me. They're relatively even and very dog-like. Another one there, there, there. Yeah, the claws are extended and the pads are large. Most likely a doge. Comes up here. Goofs around here, too melted to tell. Right up there is where the other tracks were. Let's come up the water here. This is a bit sketchy. Try not to get wet. That's not a good place to stand because of slimy water. It's all froze mostly. Hoi! I guess I could have gone above. Oh well, that's dry. Up, up. Anything here? Dog. It's all dog. This is dog. Dog, dog, dog. Dog went through here, over there, up there. There's a bit of dog up there too. So that's dog. Dog, dog. That's not very exciting. Alright, let's try to fall in the water again. Don't want to go down there or in that. So oh yeah, she's a slippy. Up here, here, whoa. There. All dog, 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 dog. Snake grass. Anything on the other side of the water up here? Whoa. No, I need a wider angle lens. Alright. Supposed to get snow tonight. 60% chance. I was gonna camp here, but that kill makes me quite nervous. It's just up that way. Yeah, it makes me a bit nervous. I don't know that I want to be next to a dead deer, and I would be 100 yards further into the canyon from it. But needless to say, it's still pretty sketchy. So this is just going to be a daytime adventure. I'm going to come back up to camp here and make some food. Oy. Deer. That's a deer track. That's a little deer track. More here. Dog or cougar, small one if that. Interesting. I want to put a game camera up here now. Maple tree, cottonwood, little cottonwood. All right, well, there we go. Mic's on backwards. All right, there we go. So, dirty lens. All right, that didn't make it any better. So yeah, that's we're not staying here. This is right where I was camped when that cougar came to visit. This is where my tarp was. That's not me. Yeah, my tarp was here. It was right where I was standing here, and I was right there by the fire. That's yeah, about 15 feet, I think. Now it turned and it jumped, and it went from there to this rock, and then jumped again up over here and landed right in here. So 2 hops and it was gone. And in the video I point out a track from that right there and there Now this was all tramped down, so the tracks were just minimal. If I had not seen it, I would not have thought it was a cougar track at all. Fossils. Yeah, I got ADHD so bad. So anyway, come up here. Got fur on the lens. All right, so what am I doing? I am gonna just do a gear review. I'm carrying a knife with me. I've been trying to do an overnighter with this knife in a while. This is by Milwaukee. They make tools like saws and whatnot, but this knife is razor sharp. It says it's high carbon steel. Everything says it's high carbon steel. That's such a stupid thing to say about a knife. It's high carbon. Well, no kidding. Steel is high carbon. It's just there are all sorts of different kinds of steels. I get so distracted. That is a fossilized seashell. You can see the start of it here, and that's the remainder of it right there. Pretty cool. So you got a fossilized seashell right there. I was looking at this, all those formations on this rock, pretty cool. Again, more fossils within this, but none of them are identifiable. You just know that they're there because of the type of rock it is and the textures. Anyway, a lot of this stuff could be fossils. There's another seashell right there. It's a little bitty critter. Oh, the shaking. Yeah, that's a seashell. This is coral. Very porous, very, very light. Fossilized coral. This camera's so heavy it gives me a workout. You see the grain structure in these rocks. A lot of fossils here. I wouldn't be surprised if you could find a whole fish in this mess. Anyway, so all of this stuff just gets my brain going. I just love it out here. This is one of my favorite areas to be. That's why I'm trying to camp here, but it has not been going the way I'd like. I've tried 3 separate times now, and the first time the cougar showed up. The second time I got the genius idea of making a shelter out of plastic wrap. That didn't even come close to working, and I didn't have a backup, so it was that or sleep in the rain. So I put my tail between my legs and ran out. And then this time I really want to be up here, but like I said in my old video, you have to consider your circumstances and your situation. It would just be stupid of me to come up here knowing my life is in actual danger and just for a YouTube video. That's just dumb. That's really dumb. I don't understand people that do stuff like that. I used to be really into survival and training and whatnot, and then common sense kind of hit me, and I saw these people doing, like, they would intentionally jump into frozen water like back there just to say, okay, this is how you survive that kind of thing. All the preparation in the world is not going to prepare you for jumping into frozen water or falling into frozen water. That's ice. If you go into ice water, it's going to shock you every single time, and it's going to be very difficult to recover from that. It doesn't matter how many times you've practiced. You can build up a certain resistance to it, but your physical limitations are still going to apply, and you might freeze to death. Even if you're used to it. You might be able to focus and have some kind of cognizant motor skill going on, but everything gets really slow, your thumbs won't work, and you'll freeze to death without knowing you're freezing to death. Even that's if you practice. If not, you just shock and crawl on the ground until you freeze to death. Anyway, I don't know, I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna make a fire. I'm gonna cook that steak anyway. And I got a saw to play with, 2 saws to play with, so let's build some tools. Alright nerds, we are gonna do a thing. I just need visual aids here, because if I can't visualize it, I can't do it. I'm retarded that way. So there's a law in nature, and I might be paraphrasing a bit, that states roughly this: if you're doing a thing and it's working, you're doing it right. So that's trademark, by the way. You owe me money if you use it. So we're gonna build ourselves a little bit of a tripod here, and it's gonna go something like that. Squiggity swooty right there. And then we're going to take 2 more sticks and they're going to go like this. Does that make any sense at all to you boys and girls? Cats and dogs. Alright, so that's going to be like that. So we got ourselves a wee little tripod. Then off that tripod we're going to make it a backwards tripod. And we're going to put sticks like this. And then across the front of this we're going to lay sticks like this. And this is going to be a chair. If I can do it. See? You know, I don't, yeah. Anyway, so we're building a tripod and tipping it over on its end. See that? Tripod. All this is going to be tied together. Can you see this? Yes, so all this is going to be tied together. And then we're going to build a second tripod. Voila, like this. And it's going to come up like that. And then this tripod is going to tie to those legs on both sides. And then we're going to lay sticks across there. And that's a chair. Like I said, if you're doing something and it's working, you're doing it right. So there we go. That's going to be the chair. Something like that. Anyway, let's go. If I can't visualize it, I can't do it. So that's more for me than you, but whatever. Now let's set this up. Okay, so this two are going to be my, go away Bart, this two are going to be my first tripod here. Ignore this piece just for chopping. So it comes back like behind me here. I've got it backwards, so I'm going to be sitting on this end of it. These 2 pieces need to fit together and then get tied. And I like this because it's at an angle in it already, so that's good. That one kind of does too, but I need to remove some things, so let me do that. I should have put this by where my rock so I can sit down. So number 36 bank line, that stuff is gold. And then this Fisker's hatchet. I'm kind of liking this thing. It's something I'm doing a little review on it. I normally don't carry hatchet because I don't find any uses for them. Saw team seems to be better in most regards. And if I need a hatchet, it's for the little stuff. Usually I can break it with my hand. So we're just testing it out. I might join the bushcraft Holy Trinity. I might join the bushcraft Holy Trinity, a knife, saw, and a hatchet every time I go out, or axe. I don't know what's the difference between an axe and a hatchet. I see things that are 16 inches long, they call that an axe. I see things that are 14 inches long, they call it an axe. This is a hatchet. An axe is big, hatchets are small, whatever. So let's get this going here. I'll get this piece off of that and try my best to scuff up my hatchet here. Don't judge me, boys. I just got done with a surgery on my hand, so we're still recovering here. Sometimes you can just beat it with that and break it off. Not the case of this guy. Seems to be going pretty good though. This cuts, this grabs, it bites, it's got some pep to it. The hatchet I restored, I tested them, dinked around it in my backyard. This bites a lot easier than that. It tends to hit and stick, or that one glances off, which is extremely frustrating. Both seem to split equally well. The other one hits and sticks. This has a wider wedge, so it bounces off of big heavy logs. Just want a flat surface to mate up to the other one. Remember, boys, if you want to preserve the edge of your tool, hit toward rock. So that's the best way to do things. Or flesh, rock or flesh. Those 2 things are your friend. Like I say, do as I say, not as I do. But sometimes you just have to do things the convenient way. I'll shut up and work now. Maybe. This hand is so weak, holy cow. 6 weeks in a cast, it has nothing left. Skinny arm, weak hand. paper hands, man. Paper hands. It ain't pretty, that's for sure. She's not gonna win a beauty contest. I like this hatchet so far though. That's so stupid. I bet half of you are yelling at your screen right now, get your legs out of the way, man. Alright, like I said, I won't win a beauty contest, but that's kind of a flat surface for that to mate up against. It doesn't need to be perfect, despite what my stupid OCD says. So we're gonna get those like that. That's not a bad fit right there. Rocks are kind of keeping it from sticking, but yeah, me likey. Me like it a lot. Let's get a closer look here. Let's see what I'm seeing here. Haha! See? Now that I got this, we're going to tie it both at the top and the bottom. I use one single strand to do that. You know, it'll be good for this. Super glue. Just kidding. I gotta think, where's the pressure going to be on this? Nowhere. It's not. It's going to be under lateral stress, so I don't need to worry about that thing. I'm just gonna clear up a flat space here for a notch, so to speak, for my cordage to sit in. That'll do. Flip around here, just opposite, and do the same thing over here. Like I said, I ain't gonna win a beauty contest. Oh, I chipped into the reason this tree's a dead one. There's a worm in there. Have a look at that, huh? Can't really see it. It's right here at the tip of my finger. Oh, wormhole. Another one over here, actually. What the devil? That is metal. That is interesting. Can you guys see that? Wow, right there. Shiny fleck of metal or something. Well, oh yeah, oh geez. Look at the edge on that guy. We were beating on a piece of metal. Oh dang, I scuffed that up good. What the heck? Yeah, I was chopping into a nail here. Curiosity's got me now. That is absolutely a piece of metal. I might have chopped out an entire nail. Oh, hold up. No, I didn't. This is buckshot. Get it? No, it fell. Not kidding, this is buckshot, boys. Look at that. It's all over in here. Little bits of shotgun pellets. Is this lead? This has to be lead. Lead shouldn't scuff up an edge that badly. What if it's steel shot? I don't have a magnet though. Somebody blasted this thing. These are pellets all over in here. Don't know how old they are. Ain't got no clue. Look at that. But would that totally just, it's wrecked the edge of my hatchet. Can you guys see that? Yeah, that just, it wrecked the hatchet head. Are these steel or lead? Hold on. That's what teeth are for. That's steel shot. No wonder it gubbered up that edge so bad. What the heck, people? People are dicks, man. Steel shot, it's all over in here. A little bit of it everywhere. No, that can't be steel. My hatchet cuts it. Cuts it right in half. That's got to be lead. How come I couldn't bite into that? That's weird. Yeah, that's lead shot. Now, hold up. Thinking. That really goofed that edge up. That's all rolled and cracked up and chipped and holy and whatever else. Lead should not do that. That should have cut right through that lead and not just wrecked it. Sharp edges on here too. Can you guys see this? Look at that. Wow. What? Lead should not have done that. That thing just busted this edge up. Well, I got some edge maintenance to do when I get home. Holy cow. Ouch. Sharp bits hanging off this thing. There must have been a nail or something in holding a target up on this thing. And I hit the nail. There's one way to try. Here's a good part of the edge. Let me chop into one of them bits. Yeah, I cut it right in half. And the edge is fine. So what scuffed up my edge so bad? There had to have been a nail in here. Right in this piece of rot, maybe. This knot here was all rotten. Maybe it had a nail through it and that's what did it in. Brash today. Yeah. People. King don't like people. Alright, let's tie this up though. We got work to do. And fun to have. Snorts. So what we're gonna do, pull out a strand yay long, and we're gonna put a bit of a yip loop in there. I'm gonna go do a thing here. Loop, like, come on, unbend. Loop. And we're gonna do a slip knot in here. So we're gonna do 2 on the outside, wait, 2 on the inside. What am I doing here? 2 on the inside, flippity floop, like that, shaky shaky. We're gonna shore that up a bit, and then we're gonna go 1 on the outside. And then I'm gonna go back around and through that hole. Yippee skippy. And that creates what Joe Robinette calls a Canadian jam knot. And the purpose of this is to give you a slip knot that should have purchase on itself through friction along these 3 loops there. If it does it, then great. If it doesn't do it, we try something else. There we go. Anyway, so that's that. That is ugly. That is oogla. But it should slippity slide. Very hard to do on bank lines. So we're going to pull it over the edge here. It's going to go right into this notch that we done did. Like this. Huh? Like I said, she ain't winning beauty contests. I'm going to slide it in there. Get it like good and tight on that. There we go. That ain't done. That looks terrible. Like that, sorta. And I'm gonna come to the other end. And we're gonna cut it off right about, nah. And it still cuts. And then tighten that down as much as it'll go. Rappity wrap. Like that. Can I go around one more time? That's a bit short to tie off to though. Yes indeed. Alright, we're still going to tie it off there. Like they say, if you don't know a knot, then you should tie a lot. Nope, I won't do it there, that's silly. Now there's one sure way to tighten this up, and that's to go through the middle, but it doesn't need to be exceptionally tight. It just needs to hold these two pieces together because the business end is that other end over there. Which is ugly. Ugly, ugly. This knot is one of my favorite knots to tie. It is called the ugly knot. What you do is you just take your cordage and just start wrapping it around stuff. A little bit of tie in here, a little bit of tie in there. Smash a finger here, smash a finger there. Eventually you get a piece of whatever you can use. So we're going to go around and through once, around and through twice. This is a special knot that many people tie. It is named after your grandma. Your mom. It's called a granny knot. Anyway, that's good enough for the people I know. Rip edge. Much sad about that. Alright. There's step 1 done. On to step 4. Alright, next step is to build a tripod. And I'm going to use these 2 sticks with prongs at the end, with forks at the end. I'll show you why here soon. But that's about right. You want them to be almost your own height. So they're going to come together like this, one back, one forward, third to the side like that. So let's give the rest of our garbage here. I might want to trim up these tips. I'm afraid of the nail or whatever I ran into a minute ago. We need a third option here. Third piece of wood. Alright, here's the third one. Critter. Nice piece of solid scrub up. Now all it's left to do is to tie these suckers all together in a big huge mess. To do that, lay them all on the ground up next to each other. Alright. Looks like it'll go there. Have a look. So these 3 are boys. Girls. I don't know what gender they are. These 3 right here. I think they look pretty good together. Just like this. This is going to be middle sides. So we want these to be pretty tight. So no skimping on this thing because it will come apart if we do. So I'm going to get a good long piece of line here. About 8 feet long, I think. That away, that away. And I'm going to wrap all of them like this. Again with the 2 on the inside. Easier without gloves on. Come on, there we go. See, that's your regular granny knot, or overhand knot. Inside, outside, and back up and through. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Goes around. I'm going to pull it back this way. That knot's going to actually help out. I got 2. I'm going to go around a third time over the top of the rest of them. Pull that boy tight. And now I'm going to weave it in and out of these. Go under. Like that. Go back over. And around. And now that's gonna tighten up on this side. I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna go under again. And leave it under this one. I'm gonna pull this over the whole back mess out this way. I'll tighten it down again. So the idea is to go in and around all of your own knots in the own piece of wood so that they cannot come loose when you pull them out, they tighten. So when you spread, you want them to tighten. Around them all again. Is there enough excess? No, there's not. So I'm going to tie it off on itself. Where's my excess? Right here. But I can't make a slip knot. You make a slip knot, it's going to slide and loosen. So I'm going to tie it around its own bundle by going around here like this and then tying off so it pulls against this one. And this knot is not going to be a slip knot. It's going to be a double overhand knot, aka square knot or granny knot, whichever you prefer. And then that should be enough. It's tight-ish. Not perfect, but good enough. Okay. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, knees. I should not sit on my knees. All right. Let's pull this out. This is where I want my chair, so I'm going to move everything out of the way. That goes too. String's already gone. Okay, so I'm going to pick the whole bundle up like that and spread them out. One goes there, one goes there, one goes there. This is abhorrent. She did not party. That is one wide tripod. Look at that. All right. Let's see if we can make some something out of this. Might have to trim the legs. Well, like I said, that ain't perfect, but it might work. It might work. Now these things, these get tied up on here. This will get trimmed. And that one ties up on this side. Right there. And then you just put sticks here for your seat. Well, this is quite a wide stance. You want it to be leaning back a little. Just because you want to be comfortable, right? Probably doing this the hard way, but we don't got real good tools here. I'm afraid of this buckshot all over in this piece of wood. I do not want to cut into a piece of buckshot. It's rotted right into the core of this thing. Hollow. Crazy. You can tell the edge is dull on this guy. This is a real hard piece of wood though. Alright. Keep getting the feeling of being watched. It's so creepy. Probably making it all up. A piece of string again. We're going to make the first seat. And then this I'm going to put right up here. That's about where I'd like to be sitting. Let's pop a squat next to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a notch in here. Best, much easier with a saw. The string will stick into the hole. You don't get carried away here. I just want a bit of a string hold. And I'm going to kind of do a suspension type thing. So we're going to go in a downward angle here. I don't know if you can see this at all. And it goes on there like that. And I'm going to tie this off right here. That holds on there good and tight. And this can come up like that and set on there like it owns the place. So I'm going to groove it as well. Take my knife, go on the underside of this guy, directly beneath. Like that. And then I'm going to put my string in that groove. Pull it up, go around there. Now this will hold 300 pounds, so big fat guy want to sit on there? Go for it. And now I can tie this off any which way I want. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. Alright, let me show you what I did here. So it's tied onto this string right there. And it's basically tied here, or looped here and here, and tied in the center. So it's a suspension-like thing. And I can put some weight on there and it ain't going nowhere. Except that end, but that end's going to tuck between the fork over there, so we're alright. Now, we'll do this other side here. Do a bit of the same thing. I might bump the tripod a couple times, but this goes up here. Work the two far ends together and pull it out like that. That end down there is tight. You tie this right here. First things first, about 6 feet of bank line. Pull out this knife. So we're going to do the same thing. But I don't know that I need to notch this one over here because of how rough it is. Regardless, we're going to do it anyway. So at an angle, this one is half alive. So I'm going to do it at an angle again. And just a centimeter so deep. That's not a centimeter, 1/4 inch. And then this one, I'm not going to bother because it's at an angle. The string's going to try to stay on this side of it. So, first one, tie it into this notch. Going to be a slip knot. 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. That's a terrible slip knot, but it works. Tighten that up. And it goes around this guy. Go out, around, up and over. Around, up and over the whole lot. Ah, oh, jeez, man, you scared the heck out of me.
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. You scared me because there's a cougar kill up there, about 50 yards that way.
Oh, okay.
A little jumpy, though.
Should be okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one, though.
You too.
Alright, so that goes through there. And again, I'm going to wrap it around between the logs. And I'm going to do that a couple times. Holy cow, I think I about jumped out of my skin there. Anyway, pull that good and tight. So I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to put my finger, well, I got legs. I'll use my leg to suspend it. And then I'm going to come underneath this group right here. And then go back through its own mess of stuff. I still can't get over how much that startled me. Alright, there we go. Like I said, this ain't perfect. But that, rotate like that. And then it would jam up against this right here. That's meant to go up in between there like that. You can see that. So that when you sit on that end, this end rises up and it doesn't have anywhere to go. I'm going to suspend it by this, wrapped around there. We're going to go around both of these, like that. So we got both those strands to help hold that together. And I'm going to tie that off. That is the worst square knot I've ever tied. But like they say, if you don't know the knot, just tie a lot. And shaky, shaky hands. There we go. All right, now, when it goes up there, make sure they stick between. Get the bark off because it will slip. And the nice thing about this is once you lift this guy up, another fossilized shell right there. That's pretty cool. All right, you can lift this guy up by that. And it goes right in between, so it's not going to fall out. I'm going to notch this. And again, it's on a downward angle. Pick your string up, pull the whole thing up. Use a rock to prop it. Oh, I'm going to put my knee under there again. I'm going to go through my loop, through my notch, back down. I have an idea. Hey there, now look at how loose these are. It ain't a problem, I'll show you why. When you've got a string suspended in a loop situation like this, here's my loop, you can use a stick to like tourniquet tighten it, so to speak. So that's done. These are all my loose ends. I'm going to tie them all together. I'll give you $1 million if you can cure my shaking. There, so all that is really jammed in up here tight. And then I can put this together, get myself a stick, and it's got to be a substantial and pretty beefy stick, so something like this. Alright. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. If not, we learn a thing. So this is a pretty thick stick. Giggity. Where's my hatchet? I need that guy. So we're going to use it. Just kind of, there we go. And I don't care that it has branches on it. It's going to go in the middle here, and it's going to do that business. You got to be able to move it though, so wiggling it around here like this. We're going to go through it like that. As I look at this, it can be shorter, it can be much shorter, and still work. So, we're going to take it down a bit more. Alright. Now I got a big fat stick and I can just wrap, and it's tightening itself now. It's wedging itself up in there and pulling all these knots tighter. I didn't anticipate doing this, but it's working out, so I'm going to keep on doing it the way I'm doing it. Now that thing will fly out of there like a rocket ship if you don't notch it off. When I mean notch it off, is stick it up someplace where it won't come loose. And the tighter it is, the easier it is to do that. Like that. But if I wiggle it around, it can't come loose. So now that's in there, it works pretty good. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. That was neat.
That's a lot of fur everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, be safe up here.
Yeah, I won't be here long. I just making a chair out of whatever I can find, and then light a fire, eat some food, and get out of here.
Well, have a good evening.
You too. We're gonna go tighter on that. There we go. One more time. There we go. Now that ain't going nowhere. Like I said, it'll hold 380 pounds, so. Now for the part we sit on. Alright, let's have a look here. I'll show you what I got. So, we have a tripod with an sideways tripod. So you do it down here, and this is that little doohickey I twisted to pull everything tight together. I've got it wedged into this fork. And then this part up here, from this rung to that rung, we're going to put some sticks, and that way I can sit right between these two. So let's do that. I want some big ones, maybe half of that one and half of this one. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so the rungs want to be mostly straight. And they're gonna have to be about that long. A little bit of overhang on each side is all right. They can just sit there from gravity. So yeah, that's what we want right there. So I'm going to cut this one off. Except I don't think I'm going to use that. Well, it'll work. It's just so twisted. Ta-da! What do I think? Well, I feel like I'm going to fall out of this thing. But a chair is a chair. It feels good just to sit. It feels good just to sit. One thing you want to make sure is that your ends are an equal height. And while the distance to the bottom is the same height, because it's on a hill, it's a little slanty. To solve that, I can take the whole thing down and restart. Or I could flip the logs around so the big ends are on that side. And I don't even need more than just one. This will do just fine. My pocket of keys, alright. And you can just sit in this thing. So I'm going to put one more up on here. This one's probably no good. So, here. I don't know what to do with that guy. I'll just set him. His firewood. Is firewood. Speaking of which, belly's starting to growl. I need to get fire soon. This is the mate to this log. Cut it off here. Oh no, this is the bottom half. Oh, where that one came from. 2 logs. There, see? How about them apples? How about them apples? Why cut this off? We didn't bother. I'd like to get the bark off because of the moisture. And it's got spooters all over in there. Nobody wants spooters climbing all over themselves. That goes away. I feel like I'm wrecking this sheath. If the sheath falls apart, then what good is it, huh? The question is, do I slide this down and cut off the other end? The answer to that is yes, but I'm using a bigger saw. This guy ain't sitting on the ground like a peasant this time. So we got this here. Let's cut it off. This bark just is home to all kinds of creepy collies. I'm going to take it all off. I'm going to cut it here. This saw really does cut hole much better than that other one. I don't know, steel. It's not a fair comparison. We'll just say it straight. It's not a fair comparison. This is a thinner straight blade saw. That's a thick curved blade saw, and it's silky, kind of the Cadillac of saws. But I mean, to be fair, this does cut well. And I like the thin profile it has. And I like that you can get 2 hands on it. And I love that it's fixed bladed. Well, I don't know, boys, I don't know. Use my knife and just get all this bark off of it. It's just so full of spiders. See, look at that little crab spider. They are not dangerous per se, but if it bites you, you'll know. Another one there. We'll be chopping that. I think that'll do. That should be just fine. Springy, Works. That is the long way to making a chair. So, there you go. That's how I do it. Honestly, like the third one I've ever done. Because if you got a rock like that, you just sit on it. Turn our attention to this now. We're gonna make a fire. First things first, let's clean this mess up. That's too big. I like that this rock is jagged. Alright, put all this down. That is so wet and rotten. It'll burn. It'll burn. More big logs. Get that out of the way. Alright, so step one. This is wet, so we're going to make a base. The base to be very steady and firm. Make sure it's nice and stuck in there. Alright. That ain't too bad. That ain't tea bag right there. Alright. We're gonna have to do a feather stick to get this started. Ain't got no gimmicky fire starters today. First I need some kindling. I think got that already. Break this stuff off here. Alright. Oh, my back. I'm just going to stick these off to the side here. I'll put it right there actually. So I can then roll that over on top of the fire. Alright. That's enough for now. I don't have a pine tree. Might have to do something though. No, I have to. It's getting a little chilly. That's beautiful out here. It's unfortunate that we're in the snow. I'm going to use my chair as a fire prep station. I'm going to select a portion of this to start attempting a feather stick. I hate making feather sticks, so pretty big. And this is our second stage stuff, slash a little bit first. I want all the prep set so that when I do light the fire, I got a place to go with it, you know what I mean? And this guy, Maple, will be our feather stick. Provided I know what I'm doing. I'll give it a try. I'm going to pop a squat up here and attempt the feather stick right on top of my pile here. Now keep in mind, I've never been good at this. I did do a couple and I made a video out of it, but them's was a long time ago. This knife is not fun to hold on to. Boys, I lost all of my skills. Alright, we're going to put that in there. Use my knee to hold. Remember, just hold, hang in there. And then make some feathers and just let them fall into the fire. There we go. Maple. Attempt number 1. Carve my body open here. Wasting time. Can't do it through a knot, that's for sure. Alright, this ain't working, we're doing something else. Alright, so I've been messing around trying to make a feather stick with a log of maple. The problem with maple, it's a very hard wood, so I went and got a little branch of cottonwood. Cottonwood is also a hardwood, but it's a softer hardwood, and it tends to have a straight grain structure. So, like, well, this stuff, look at this, is just gnarly and twisted, making feather sticks extremely difficult. This is a nice straight piece of softer wood. So I'm going to attempt to make a feather stick while popping a squat here by the fire with this stuff. And this goofy knife that I've got. So you want to try on the inside curve, if I remember correctly. And I'm going to put it somewhere nice and stable. And then put some weight on it. You can use my pant leg here, just the corner of the seam. And put some weight on it, don't stab myself in the leg, and then I'm just going to try to make some curls here. And if they fail, they fail. And then I use paper towels like I did when I sliced my finger off. And I know that'll work, but I don't want to do that. I want to try without it. So let's see what we can do here. That's not too bad. That ain't too bad. Nice and smooth here. Some of them will fall off, that's okay. This cottonwood's been dead a while, so it's pretty easy to do this with the shaking. Makes it a little bit harder. There's a good one. Yeah, I like cottonwood. Chilly wind. Tonight's supposed to be very cold. I was going to spend the night here, but I'm not going to today. This cougar kill got me worried. Hopefully there's not moisture in this. It feels pretty squishy. Just chopping them off now. Take that whole bundle off of there. See, something like that, not too bad. Just set that aside in there like that and start the next one. And easy does it, just gentle strokes down the wood. And they come up with curls. They don't all have to stick to the log. If you put it where you're going to make your fire and they fall down into the pit, you're alright. Oh, this is a treat, this one. This knife's not very comfortable. I was going to bring a backup knife. But I didn't. I wanted to rely on this, see if I could rely on it. And it seems like I can, but it's not my favorite knife. All those in there. That might be enough, but like they say, when you think you got enough, double it. This knife does not have a 90-degree spine, so I won't be doing anything fancy like that with it. That's got to be enough right there. So I'm going to take all these curls and stick them all in a little pile right there. Everything all stacked and nice and fluffy. Happy little pile. Got these ones over here. Don't want them falling into the snow. Happy little curls. Alright. Alright, Bob Ross, let's get this done, huh? Put it right down in there. Launch a few sparkies in there. Oh, we almost had it. Almost had it. There we go. We're lit. We are lit. Alright. Get this mess up on here. Give it some air. Come on. Easy does it. Alright, I think we got it. I think we got it. The wind is trying to stop it. Can't stop this though. Yeah, we got it. Let's go. Let's go. And yell in the smoke again. How about them apples, huh? Good old cottonwood. All right. this thing cook down and make another tripod so that I can boil some water on here. Let's go! Oh, it just feels so nice to sit by this fire. Fingers are freezing. Alright, let's try to get this pot over the top for you. Do a thing. That over my shoulder. Suspending this pot by bank line's not ideal. This can melt. You know, it's whatever, but if it melts and that goes in the fire, then oh well. I get charred flavored broccoli. That is a pretty sketchy platform, but actually it's not too bad. I think I can go ahead and stick the steak on there now. You guys get a front row seat to this awesomeness. First things first, though. Prep. That's what this is for. Try not to talk so much. We'll do some more talking later, but I think a lot of folks just like silence. Homegrown steaks. Paper off. Put that aside. Hey, how did I end up in this smoke? These are 2 sirloin steaks. A nice ribbon of fat on them. I'm going to do a little bit of a trim on them. Getting all the schmoo all over my hands. There's one. Get off their piece of wood, and there's the other. So yeah, I'm gonna do a trim on them. Piece of fat. Snow is good for washing hands. Just like that. And of course you wipe them on your pants because you're an animal. So, neck knife, CRKT, love it. I'll take this ribbon of fat off, and I'm doing that so it doesn't drip into the fire and flare up. I don't like the taste of burnt fat meat. Char is different. It's a very different flavor than when the animal fat smoke gets on your food. Sometimes it tastes weird. I'm just going to throw it in the fire too, because why not? We're doing the same with this one here. I'm going to lose a bit of meat, but it's alright. I'm going to cook one of these right on the coals, and I'm going to cook one of them on the grill and see if I can taste the difference. I love my steak right off the coals. I don't meet many people that do, but it's so good. Just amazing. Sad to lose a little bit of meat here, but it's alright. Probably can stay. Let's call it a super trim or a trim when you remove the fat off the sirloin or off the steak. This isn't the kind of fat you would render into suet or pemmican. For pemmican, it's a different type of fat. All right. Getting snow washed. My hands are so moisturized now. Okay, step number 1. I got the site over here prepped. I gotta prep the steaks. This one's going on the grill, the bottom one's going on the coals. And again, we'll see if we notice a difference. I'm just using the ye old boring Montreal steak seasoning. And we're losing light, so I'm gonna get this done. That's gonna stick to my hands too, but that's all right. We're gonna put a fair amount on this side because it's gonna flip over and stick to the other steak as well. And then again, some on this side. And I'm gonna mash that in there. And that's gonna go on the grill. And we'll see how this goes. All right, zoom out, go over. I'm getting fat all over it. There's the grill. Not as sizzly as I thought it would sound, but it's gonna cook pretty quick nonetheless. It's pretty hot in there. And this other steak, which I'm seasoning right now, is gonna go right on the coals. And as you see, maybe you don't, let me adjust this. That's the fat there, so I'm gonna put it, where am I gonna put it? Right in the middle there. And you see one steak cooking. The enemy of steak is flame. I'm gonna put this here, add everything out down here. The stuff that's still burning, I'm gonna put right with the fat over there. I'm gonna put a big layer of coals here. And it's gotta be a deep bed of coals too. So hopefully this is gonna work for us. And this is gonna go right there. I could hear them cook. You want to do about 2 minutes on each side and then flip them over. That one's gonna have a darker taste than this one, I think. What are we doing? Cooking right away. Good, good, good. Coming right along. Take this stick and the spork. We're just gonna pick it up. Hot, 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 hot. Flip it over just like that. And all this stuff, when the fat comes out, it goes into these pieces of charcoal and they fall right off, so you don't even need to worry about that. Now this other piece here, I'll probably flip it as well. I'm just gonna do it with my fingers. Too hot in that area. And I'm putting the thinner side away from this burning log. Oh, so good smelling over there. This is a bit crust right there. I like me a crust. This might be done. I like to burn myself, I guess. I can put gloves on for this. I don't know why I'm doing it barehanded. An infantry, gotta prove how tough I am by being miserable. Yee yee. Alright, how are we doing over here, Stick? Let's get some heat on those edges. How about them apples, huh? Aw, yee! Love steak, man. Alright, we're taking you up the coals. How are you doing inside? Little Rudd? Put it back down. Yee. We're just gonna stack them on my plate. Come out a bit. There we go. Broccoli, are you doing anything yet? Nope, it's hot though. It's hot. A little bit of fat. It's really, really easy to overcook steak on an open fire. Like, remarkably easy. Nobody likes an overcooked steak, except for people who really don't like steak. Again, you don't want to flip a steak too many times though. That's how you make leather. Yeah. All right, I think we've reached a good temperature here. Out you come onto the plate and rest. I will flick a little of this charcoal off. No need to eat unnecessary schmoo. How about you? Yes. Done. That'll maybe a little too done. All right. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Come over here, boys and girls. Let's get out of the smoke. There we are. Top one from the what the? All right, the top one is from the thing. I don't know why I made a chair and then I don't sit in the chair. Rock will do. All right, petrified wood rock. Nice. Top one is the grill. The bottom one is the charcoal. So let's have a look here and see how we did. Spork, neck knife. The edges will be more done than the outside. Don't look bad. Oh. Mmm. Gentlemen. That is delicious. So juicy. It is medium. I prefer my steak medium rare. But it is, absolutely juicy and flavorful. Perfect. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. I'm not a peasant. I ain't sitting on a rock. I made a chair for no. I didn't make that chair for no reason, so come with me, steak. Hacking him. Ouch. Alright, I broke my camera, so I don't know if you can see me or not. Can you see those delicious steaks? Oh, they're great. I'm gonna sit here in my chair. There's my water over here. Keep my water cool. Alright. Come on down. Alrighty. Let's so we tried the one from the grill. I'm gonna go with the one right off the coals. Like I said, the edges will be more done than the center, just the way it is. And I do like the char on the outside, so I still like the ones on the coals better than off the grill. That is just, heaven, that is good. That is so good. It's not overly done. It's probably medium, maybe medium well on the edges. The center will be more rare than the outsides, but too much seasoning, so it's pretty salty. But not too salty. Alright, why are you wibble wobbling about so much? There. You cannot eat steak off a wibbly wobbly platform. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna down these things and we'll eat the broccoli. Boiled broccoli, jeez. Anyway. Oh, good, good, good. Delicious. Wonderful. While I eat, how about some story time? Spork is alright. I'm used to using a chopstick that I made. Can you guys even see me? Yeah, I'd rather have a poker stick, but this'll do. This'll do. Steak is just tender, juicy, perfect. Alright, while I eat, if you can stand me chewing in my mouth, talking with my mouth full. I don't know if you guys knew, probably not, maybe you did. Some of you who've watched me for a while do know. I was a guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, not for very long, but cold water. Long enough to know it is by far, well, maybe not by far, probably Delta Force training or Major Ranger scroll training could be equally as taxing, probably more taxing physically. I was a guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The training was brutal. It was an exercise in sleep deprivation. While we were there, in the tomb quarters that are underneath the tomb, you're not allowed to show any sort of emotion while on the carpet. Funny thing is everywhere was carpet. The whole place had carpet, except the new man room, which we weren't allowed to go in, couldn't keep our stuff in until we passed a certain number of tests. There are 4 tests, the first, second, and third, maybe the badge test, I don't know, maybe they changed. I haven't been there in 10 years. Anyway, one time, we were on a special rotation, which means instead of having 3 days on and 5 days off, or 5 days on, 3 days off, 5 days on, 3 days off, we were on, off, and we had 24-hour shifts, so 24 hours on, 24 hours, and it ended up being like 27 hours on, then 21 hours off. So it was rough, really, really rough. There was one time I went 48 hours without any sleep. I had about a 4-hour nap and then another 48 hours. And during that second 48 hours, I was so tired that, I kid you not, I started hallucinating. I was up on the plaza doing the night shift, going, you know, the sentinels guard that tomb 24 hours a day, so someone has to be up there at night. I was up there at night. It was probably midnight or 1 a.m., somewhere in that range. And you're not allowed to sit down, not allowed to relax. You have to stand and you're guarding, you're on duty, so you do your thing, you do your job. One day a moth flew down. That day that I'd been on for so long, a moth flew down and landed, kind of crash landed, and it was a big moth, you know. It landed on the plaza where I was walking. And I remember telling that moth, having a conversation, I kid you not, I had a conversation with the moth, and I swear it talked back to me. I said, hey, moth, you gotta get out of here. When the sun comes up, birds are gonna come out and you're gonna get eaten. Moth stands up, dusts itself off, because it just had a crash land. It had 4 wings, but one of them broke off, so it had 3 wings. Crash landed, and it was dusting itself off like it just, you know, just brushing the dirt off itself. And the moth, just like Tinkerbell, looked up at me and said, I'm too pretty. I'm not gonna get eaten, I'm too pretty. I said, no, moth, you don't understand. You're gonna get eaten. The birds will come out in the morning, the sun's gonna come up, you're gonna get eaten. You gotta get out of here, man, you gotta go, you're gonna get eaten. No. Too pretty. I'm not going to get eaten. And I sat and argued with a moth in the middle of the night. Then it was not funny. I was struggling, but I thinking back at it now, it's rather entertaining. This moth wouldn't leave. It just kept walking around, dancing around on the plaza. I'm doing my guarding, going back and forth, practicing the different moves I needed to memorize, and saying, "Get out of here, moth! You're going to get eaten. What are you doing?" Sun comes up. Bird flies down. I didn't even know if this was real. Bird flies down, eats the moth. I'm like, and there's just a wing. Just all that was left was that one wing that fell off. I'm like, I told you you're gonna get eaten. I argued with a wing then. Well, that badge is the hardest honor in the military to get. It's the rarest. I don't think it's the hardest physically. They like to say it, it's really not. you're up and down a lot, sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, stand. You're practicing everything a lot, so it ends up being pretty tough. But I believe Delta is harder. Other ones, air assault, and the airborne's easy. Air assault might be, I didn't go, so I don't know. Like if you've been and you comment, let me know if it is harder. But the amount of times that I would drive home after I even talked to this moth. I drove home and I was so tired. I'd go from Fort Belvoir, I don't know if that's where I lived. I was going to Fort Belvoir from Arlington, cruising down the freeway. I took Route 1, I think it's called, and there's a few stops that goes through Old Town, Arlington. And every time I hit a red light, I gave up. I just lean my head back and pass out. I'd fall asleep and wait till someone woke me up by honking their horn. I went all the way home that way, 40 minutes. Fall asleep, honk, honk, okay, I gotta go. And I'm driving this old Chevy Lumina. And I get home, and I fall asleep in a baby's crib. I don't know how I got there or why I was there. I remember waking up and I'd crouched in a little ball and I'm in the baby's crib with my daughter Ashlyn, or at the time she was probably 1 or 2 years old, and I don't remember how I got there or why I was there. So there you go. Sleep deprivation can cause you to hallucinate. I know moths don't talk. Everybody knows that, but for some reason this moth talked to me. It was weird. Being able to guard the tomb, I had to leave because I needed to have surgery to fix ruptured Achilles tendons problems. So I didn't get to stay as long as I would have liked to. After I was a tomb guard, well, I got a phone call one day. Well, a guy named Corporal Baker came back, and he's like, hey, he called me and a guy named Redding to him, and he said, hey, do you want to be here right now? And I said, well, some days I do, some days I don't. And he's like, no, I need to know right now, do you want to be here? And at that moment, I had been smoked. Smoked push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, and around for 10 hours straight. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. I had a bruise in the design of the rug that I was doing all the flutter kicks, sit-ups, push-ups on. So I told him, I said, right now I do not want to be here. I'm exhausted. This was probably 7 p.m. And so he said, okay, fair enough. Go back to the wreath room. The wreath room's where the new guys sit and do their thing. So I went back to the wreath room. And I don't remember if it was that day or the day after, but the assistant sergeant of the guard, who's over all 3 reliefs, sergeant of the guard's over all 3 reliefs. You have a relief commander, assistant relief commander, and then you've got a sergeant of the guard, and this guy was Sergeant Stackpole, and then you have his assistant, whose name I do not remember. It's spelled, or it's pronounced differently than it's spelled. But he called me up. He was a nice guy. He called me up and said, hey, Pearson, go report to the Sergeant Major right now. I'm like, the Sergeant Major, the guy that's in charge of all 1,600 of us? Yes, go report to the Sergeant Major. I'm like, all right. I go up to the Sergeant Major. I understand your feet are messed up. I said, yeah. I'll have to have surgery to fix them. He's like, fair enough. Pack your bags, you're the new colonel's driver. I didn't end up being the colonel's driver, but the deputy colonel's driver. Colonel Peters, Lieutenant Colonel Peters, because you don't call Lieutenant Colonel, you call him Colonel, because he's Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel is Colonel. Not Fulbird, but he's a little Colonel. So I packed my stuff. First I went to Echo Company, who are like the biggest D-bags of the entire thing. And the first sergeant's like, so you're going to be a driver, let's see how good you are. Press my suit. I press my blues. Spent about 4 hours pressing his blues. He looks at him and says, good enough. Wasn't even his choice, but I didn't know that because he's the first sergeant. I'm a dumb private. I guess at that time I had been a specialist. And he outranks me by a million years, so I pressed his blues for him. They never looked so good. I'm kidding. I'm telling you, those things were beautiful after that. Anyway, packed my bags. I reported to Lieutenant Colonel Peters, one of the nicest, kindest people I had ever met in literally my entire life. And I took care of his uniform, and I drove him wherever he needed to go. He needed to go to the White House, I took him. He needed to go to the Capitol building, I took him. Went all over D.C. And that's the best job in the Army. driver. You sit and wait until they need to go. Take care of their uniform, make sure they're on time to wherever they need to go. The hours can sometimes suck. If they got a formation, or they got to talk to the general, you got sometimes have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Usually it's awesome. So my experience in just a few short years, I got to see the Army from private on up, what it was like as a private, and then I got to work with the command group and see it from the top down. It's amazing to me how many things get messed up from top down. The colonel says, I want everybody in formation, do this, this, and this. So, example, one time driving down the road with the lieutenant colonel, actually there was a Sergeant Major Stitzel, driving down the road, he sees some privates out vacuuming leaves with a vacuum cleaner. He says, pull over. Pull over, and he says, Private, what the hell are you doing? Sergeant Major, the first sergeant said you wanted us to vacuum the leaves. Sergeant Major's like, no. So we go inside. The colonel, the Sergeant Major, the first sergeant was there, and he goes, why are you having the privates vacuum? He says, that's what I thought you wanted. He's like, no, I wanted them to rake the leaves. Somehow, the rake the leaves got translated to vacuum the leaves as it passed down from colonel or sergeant major to first sergeant to platoon sergeant to squad leader to team leader. It all just got messed up. That happened all the time. It was so frustrating to watch. I couldn't do anything about it. The first sergeant hated it, and the sergeant major hated it, and it was very weird. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And this steak is just awesome. Cutting off some of it, bitty fat pieces, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I was infantry. I wanted to go to Fort Lewis and deploy, but that didn't happen. I was afraid that my wife didn't like the life. She didn't want to be in that much, not as much as I did. You know, sometimes I didn't want to be in at all. So I thought if I go to the old guard, because I was 6'2" and had a 30-inch waist, I fit the bill, so they asked if I would go, and I said yes. And they don't do typical deployments. They bury soldiers. That's their responsibility, is to bury dead and take care of the son. It's a hard job, really hard job. I've seen mothers of soldiers who had died throw the flag at the guy handing it to her and say, I don't want that flag, I want my son back. Real hard. Heart-wrenching is what it is. Yeah, steak is done. Run out of sunlight. If you're ever cooking steak outdoors, just remember, if you put it right on the coals, it's going to be saltier than if you cook it another way. Just heads up if you do that. I'll show you this. Whoa, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's that is broccoli oatmeal right there. Nummy. Shaky, shaky. It's buttery. I mean, it has good flavor. Texture is disturbing. It has a bit of a fry on it, which is nice. I mean, look at that. Serve that at a restaurant, people are gonna leave. Oh well, it still tastes good. It's getting dark, so I gotta pack up and head out. I don't want to be here after dark. Finish up my broccoli oatmeal. Alright, well, I don't know if you can see me, but we're all packed up and ready to go. I'm just warming up a little bit by the fire before I take off. Good time though. Sad I didn't get to spend the night. It's kind of a bummer. But we're not dead. Thought I heard something a minute ago up in the canyon, so it's certainly time to jet. Curious to know if you can even see me with the light this little GoPro can record in. Anyway, I'm off. Thanks for joining me. I wish this. Wait a minute. Oh, wow, that's bright. That's not better. Ha! I'm blind. Alright, fingers in front of it. Alright, can you hear that better? Maybe. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm off. We had a good time, I think, but I'm ready to be out of here. It's dark. There's a cougar about. There's a kill 50 yards that way. Not gonna mess with it. So anyway, love you faces. Thanks for joining me, and we're gonna do another overnighter. I'm gonna head out west into the desert somewhere. I'm gonna move for some juniper action. So yeah, love you faces, you're awesome, and yeah, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.